Hey friends, welcome to my first video for December Daily 2022. As you can see, I have a few things already on my desk, and I'm just going to share a little bit about what I am planning on doing to start off my album for 2022, and then we'll get into the process. Right, so I have already prepped my 6x8 outside of the page protector piece of cardstock. So that is actually an offcut of the box that the Ali Edwards 2022 main kit came into. I decided I was going to use that for my title page, so I've already cut it down to size. I just used a extra page protector to do that, so that I got the holes and the correct dimensions. And now I'm going to be working on putting this layout together. So I have a few things. I have this frame. This is what I'm going to be using as my template. I've already kind of gone through what I want to do for this layout. So this is my template. It is from Sahin and from Sahin Designs. I will link the template that this comes from, and I've decided to cut out my base page, my base piece of cardstock into this shape, and then I will be adding the frame printed out on transparency behind it. So you're going to see me do that here in a second. All right, so the first thing that you're going to notice as you watch this process video is that even though I had a really good idea of what I wanted to do, it took me a very long and circuitous path to get there. So as you can see, I am using my Fiskars craft knife and that paper frame that I already printed out, and I'm using that as a template to cut my cardstock. But when I was finished cutting it, I actually realized that I may have went a little bit too big on the frame for what my idea was. So I end up actually doing this entire process over again. You're going to see the results of that in a little bit, but I did not film that part because it was already getting on my nerves that I had to redo it twice. Now that I look at it, it actually looks fine. But at the moment, that was not really what I wanted to achieve. So I end up reprinting everything and recutting out my frame, and I really like the way that it ended up, so that's always good. So as you can see, I reprinted my photo with the frame printed on there. So this is the frame from a collection by Sahin, by Sahin Designs. I will have that link down below. And once I am done kind of finessing my photo into the right shape with just regular scissors, I am going to use the extremely precise method of using my craft knife and my photo as a guide to create a slit on my journaling page. So you're going to see that here in a moment. I'm just placing my photo where I want it to go on the frame, and then using my craft knife to cut a slit into my cardstock. I definitely would recommend caution with this. My line is not straight. It's a little bit wonky. I had to fudge it a little bit. Chaos ensued, but the result worked, so that is what counts, right? Definitely, if you're going to recreate something like this, I would recommend being a little bit more precise with things like this. As you can see, I have another photo that I printed out. This is a photo of our family dog, and that is going to go on the back of our family portrait. So there's going to be photos on both sides of that flip. I'm just using regular adhesive to adhere that photo down. I am giving myself a little bit of space on the fold line so that it lays flat and there's not too much bulk on the fold line. So now I'm just putting the finishing touches together, making sure that the mechanism works properly the way that I want it to. And then I'm just going to use regular adhesive to glue down my cardstock frame to the backing. And of course, because this layout is a hot mess, after everything was already adhered down, that was exactly the time that I remembered I wanted to use a ribbon on the side of my photo so that you could kind of use it as a way to open and close it. I started off with that red ribbon that you saw right there. That's from a bundle from Michaels. I do actually end up going with that black and white check ribbon, which is from a very old Felicity Jane kit. Actually, it's not very old. I think it's from last year. The funny thing about rewatching my process videos is that I definitely wonder why I second guess myself all the time. That red ribbon would have been absolutely fine, but for some reason, I thought it was a little bit too bold at the time. I just used my tiny attacher to fold that ribbon over, and then some Tombow Mono liquid adhesive to add that sandwiched in between my two photos. Once my ribbon is adhered, I'm going to work on embellishing the front of the photo, and I'm actually going to be using these number stickers from Ally. I bought like 3 packs of these stickers, so I am going to be using them every chance I get, and I'm just kind of laying them out, seeing where I want them, and then adhering them down. So once that is done, this part of my title page is finished, and I am going to take you to my craft desk and work on the back side of this title page here in a moment. All right, so I am back and working on the opposite side of my title page, which is this. And I really loved this quote by Liz Tamanaha, and I decided to use my foil quill for the first time, really, ever. And this one came out really good. This one, as you can see, is crooked. Not sure how this actually turned out as crooked as it did, but it took like 4 hours to do this. So I'm going to try to salvage it somehow. I don't know if that's actually something I'm going to be able to do, but I'm going to try. So follow along with me, and if you have any ideas as to why this happened, yeah, definitely let me know in the comments. All right, so I warned you guys this was going to be a hot mess of a layout. So this was the second time that I used my foil quill. The first time was that Joy, which was earlier, and it came out perfectly. And then I decided to foil this quote by Liz Tamanaha from Paislee Press. This is part of her mini kit for Ally, and it took forever. I think it took like 4 hours, and the result was this cockeyed mess. Thankfully, the foiling actually did turn out pretty well at the bottom because I had taped the bottom of the foil because it obviously wasn't supposed to extend so far to the left. Those words are a little bit speckled, so it's not perfect, but it's my album, so why would it be perfect? And to top it all off, I realized after I had already cut my foiled page down that I had miscut the page. So I had cut it too small for the size of my title page because I had gone with the page protector size instead of the size of my actual title page. And at that point, I just wanted to cry, you guys. Like, seriously, wanted to cry. But I decided to be a little bit ingenious, and I used some vellum to cover up the about 1/2 inch of the holes on that right side, and then just layer my quote on top of it and call the whole thing good. So does it look perfect? Absolutely not. But is it done? Is it finished? Is it in my album? Oh, did I forget that my scissors were downstairs? And at that point, it was like midnight to 1 o'clock, and I was getting this layout done no matter what. So I used my craft knife to cut my tape. This layout was hectic. It was 100% hectic. So now I am using my red line tape to secure everything down, and this is almost the end, you guys. I was so excited when I could finally call this entire page finished. I'm just using my craft knife and my ruler to make sure that everything is slightly aligned. Thankfully, I did not have to cut too much off my title page, and it still looks fairly nice. Everything works, the mechanism still works, and I'm calling this title page done. I will see you in the next video for my new summer daily of 2022, and I hope you enjoyed this hot mess of a layout. Thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye.